Hello and welcome to By the Numbers. I'm FM Tahiti. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for liking, subscribing, leaving comments if you're doing all that, or just watching. It's all appreciated. If there's anything in particular you'd like to see, let me know. I am recording this kind of ahead of time because I've got a sudden increase in work coming up. So when I've got an opportunity to play, I've been kind of hammering through this, and I've really been enjoying the save as well. So I've been kind of getting ahead of myself a bit, especially with a kind of title race going on. So if I don't reply immediately, or I say I'm going to do something, it doesn't happen for a couple of episodes, it could just be because I've already recorded those episodes. But I will get back to you and look at things if there's certain things you want to look at, especially if there's certain things that you want to look at statistically, because that's what the series is all about. Now, you've probably noticed on screen here we've got our youth intake, which we'll have a look at in just 1 second. But what we're also going to do is look at where we are in terms of the table and our schedule. So let's look at the table first. So we're currently first. We played 29. We've got 53 points. Breda are on 52 and Newry City are on 50. And I'm pretty sure it's not Breda that Nepenthes from the Sports Interactive forums, who also is a FIFA YouTuber now, managed and got a 3,000 goal striker from Smiley. It's the name of the striker. If you find that thread on the forums, it's well worth a read. Lots of people getting 1,000 plus sort of goal strikers too. So not Breda only a point behind us, Newry 3 points behind us. It's been a weird kind of a weird fixture list. So I think it was a Donegal Celtic match we had on camera last, wasn't it, where we lost 2-1, and Jordan Black's goal right at the end, bit of a sucker punch, but it is what it is, even though it is against rivals. We then drew 0-0 against Carrick, so we lost a bit of ground then. Then we beat Newry City 2-0, so Devlin and Robinson, and it was a weird kind of nervy match in that, even though we were a goal ahead, Devlin, until that Robinson goal came in, it could have gone either way, and then that kind of killed them off a little bit. Then we drew against Not Breda. We've not got a great record against Not Breda, have we? Draw, and then lost on penalties, and a draw. I mean, I guess it's a consistent record. We'll give them that, I suppose. And now we're going to play Donegal Celtic, or we will do after we've done the youth kind of intake. We've got a few days, so I'll have to show you the youth intake and then come back to it. But we've got 3 games left. There's 9 points in it. The most Newry City can get is 59, so if we win twice, then Newry City are pretty much out of it unless they can scrape by in goal difference. The most Not Breda can get is 61, which means that we kind of need we need to win all of our matches. It'll be in our own hands. That obviously does get a little bit difficult when you consider we've got to play Donegal, Distillery and Carrick. We're not playing Newry or Not Breda, so it's not a case of us getting points from them, and that's like a 6 point or something like that. We're playing different teams. We are kind of hoping though. So can we see what Not Breda's schedule is? So Not Breda have got to play Newry City next. So when we play Donegal, they'll be playing Newry City, or Newry will be playing them, depending on who you have to kind of go in for this one. They're going to take points off each other in some way, whether it's a draw, whether one of them beats the other one. And because of that, they'll probably, if Newry City lose, they'll probably out the race then. Just be as a Not Breda. If Not Breda lose, then it gets a little bit tighter. They probably won't be out of it completely, but it gives us a bit of breathing room. And if they draw, then I'm pretty sure Newry City are also probably still out of that, but we'll see how that goes. Let's look at the kind of youth intake first. Let's go back to this. So what they said. Apparently Patrick Collins is particularly gifted. And our assistant manager? Yeah, he's saying he thinks he's had an influence on Matt Kelly and Mark Cairns and Simon Williamson and Keith Smith. But they reckon they've got a real chance of developing into a golden generation. And when we look at the kind of potential, they all look like they've got high potential. There's not many of them who look like they're ready to just sort of go. But let's have a look. Let's look at the development centre and see who we've got in here. First of all, let's see if we've got any giants. Sort by height. Telford 6'4", 6'2", 6'6", 6'6", and then the rest of them are kind of midgets. I'm not being mean to anyone who's less than 6 foot, but our average height's quite high, so a lot to live up to. Right then, let's look at this by potential, ability. Let's just sort by this potential first, that'll do. And let's look at Patrick Collins first before we look at everyone else. So he's the one who's the pick. He's the standout. And that worries me. If he's the standout, looking at the rest, tackling, marking, heading are all okay. His positioning's not very good. His aggression's good. Decisions and leadership's good. His balance is good. Nothing particularly stand out. So that's a little bit... It's a little bit disappointing in the sense that he's not going to be a shoe-in for the team. He's not going to go straight in and start playing. I have actually I have actually signed a player in defence as well to help shore things up, and I'll show you. In fact, I made 2 transfers to try and beef up the squad in the sort of title run-in, but I'll show you that after this. So let's get Pat Skates. Good name. Attacking midfielder centre. Not especially inspiring, to be honest. Good physical attributes, high aggression, which is what I like to see. Keith Smith, also an attacking midfielder, but play right as well, so potentially maybe play him on the wing. Fairly professional, which is good. Good balance, fitness and pace. Brave, determined. Bit of flair. Reasonable leader. Hardworking. Take free kick. Good technique. But that's about it, really. I mean, he doesn't stand out. On the right, we've got Kieran Telford, who is the 6'4" one. Good crossing. Terrible balance, so he might fall over a bit as he's crossing. He'll get in the team just because he's tall. Kyle McCaughan. Nah. He doesn't look great. Good physical attributes, or reasonable physical attributes. Patrick Collins, we've already looked at. James Finnegan, very Irish name. He looks a little bit more useful, attribute-wise, although his position isn't particularly. Ball-winning midfielder, maybe train him to be a defensive midfielder. Michael Graham, not great. Conor McGrath, he looked quite good. Good finishing and heading, determined, leader. Aggression's a 9, so it's not far off double figures. He's fit and he can accelerate. He's got potential. His physical attributes get a bit better. You could maybe shape him into something quite good. So he's my pick so far. I reckon he's the best player we've got. Mark Cairns, 12 for finishing, 10 for composure, aggressive, works hard. He looks quite good too. So actually we've got 2 reasonable strikers we want to try and keep hold of. Cole Murphy, no, but he's a left back, so we'll keep him because we need them. Simon Williamson on the left. Good physical attributes. Can pass. Tommy Curtis, the goalkeeper. We're meant to have a good goalkeeper in this intake. He is okay. He's not going to challenge our current goalkeeper, who's got a ton of clean sheets. Willie Long, who is going to be the best. I'm going to give him a contract and then rename him to Willie Long. He looks okay. Not particularly taken by that Willie. Andrew O'Neill, again, he looks okay, but I'm not going to preferentially play him. He's going to be desperation if he gets played. Matt Kelly's got good finishing, but that's about it, to be fair. And Nicky O'Kane, he looks alright. Good leadership decisions, bravery, aggression, good first touch, fit. You could train him into something. And I think, to be honest, this is something I remember from one of the videos by the Northmen. It's always amazing if you can get one of those youth prospects who looks like he can slot straight into the team. But just because you've not got that doesn't mean you've got a bad youth intake. If you've got players you can shape, who can fill out the squad, if you're in a position where you're just trying to make sure you're not spending too much money on fringe players, these youth intakes like this can be quite good. And even though, say, Con McGrath's not the finished article, or Mark Cairns isn't the finished article, they've got potential to be shaped into a decent player. They're not going to be messy or anything like that, but they'll do a job. And sometimes that's all you need, especially if you play a tactic like mine where it's quite one-dimensional. So I'm going to offer them some contracts, get them pretty much all into the team. And the reason why I'm going to do that is they don't cost as much, if anything, and we lose a lot of them. So if you look at the transfer, where's transfers gone? I've gone blind from looking for it. There we go. Look at our transfer history. Look at all these players that have left, and they're almost all our youth prospects. You produce these players and they've gone off, and again, almost all the teams they've gone to are non-league teams, apart from, say, Queen's, Carrick Reserves, Ards and Ballyclare. They've all gone off to non-league teams, and I try not to put too much effort into keeping them. But they are popular, which means I'd like to keep the kind of youth team fleshed out, so we've got options even if we do lose a few people here and there. There's not many I'm going to be that desperate to keep hold of forever. I'm not going to offer them huge contracts to make sure they stay, but they are a reasonable intake. Not quite full golden generation. I think we've had as good, if not better, in the past, but I'm reasonably happy with that. Now, I did also mention the transfer front. We've brought in a couple of players. So I've already shown you Dara Byrne, Pillen left, 6'4". He's cover for that left-hand side because we lost an option on as the left-back position, even though he's best as an attacking midfielder. He can cover that. I've also brought in Barry Harvey from Armagh. He's got good physical attributes, reasonable mental attributes, and he can play pretty much all the way down the right-hand side from right-sided defender, right-sided midfielder, attacking midfielder. I think, yeah, like he can play all the way there from front to back. Is what he can play. I think he's being a little bit cheeky saying he can play as a striker when his finishing is 2 and his composure is 3 and his heading is 1. I'm not seeing him being a particularly effective striker at any point, but he will cover that side because obviously we've just got Clark who can play on the right and Young who can cover, but he's mainly playing on the left. So with Byrne and Harvey, we've kind of got those full-back positions covered at least until the end of the season. Get to the end of the season, we decide to get rid of him. It's fine. We've also got Nathan Burns from Larne. So Larne are a team who are bankrolled or owned by the guy who developed Purple Bricks, the estate agents in the UK. And he's pumped some money into them. He's essentially got them up from the Championship into the Premiership. They're quite rich. In this game, they're winning a lot of titles. They've knocked Linfield well and truly off their perch, which is always nice to see as a Belfast manager. But they've got quite a few good youth players, and they were getting rid of him, so I decided to come in. And again, he's on a non-contract, so we might not keep him. But he looks quite good as well. Good positioning, good aggression, good balance, good jumping reach. His strength may be the weak point, but his tackling's alright. His heading is again a bit of a weak point. But from the DNA stuff I've looked at when playing sort of long ball teams, you can see this on Dictate the Game if you want. I've got a DNA article. What I found is jumping reach and positioning for defenders probably much more important than the actual defensive technical attributes. The tackling, the marking, the heading, they're much better predictors of success. So he looks like he'll come in and do the job. He's really well rated. Look at that kind of coach summary. So he's going to be, I've already sort of played him off the bench in one match. He's demonstrated he can play reasonably well at the level below, so he's a bit of a risk, but worst case scenario is on a non-contract, we'll just cancel that contract. So we're looking alright. So what I'll do is I'll come back for the actual match against Donegal, and then we'll see what the kind of, the permutations are at the end, what we're looking at. Are we going to play the last 2 matches on camera, or are we going to just play the last match, depending on what goes on in the other results, that kind of thing. We need to know whether we can win the title next match or the match after and so on. So I'll come back in just a second. Right, so we're back for the match. I just realised this video is probably going to be much longer than the other ones because we had the youth intake and I rambled on for a bit. So, feel free to skip towards the end to see whether I've completely messed up this next match against Donegal Celtic. Just as a quick recap, you can see in the table that whether I win or not, the title is not going to be won today. But this will set us up to see whether we need to play each of the next matches, and so we probably will do anyway, but we shall see. Team's pretty much set. Very happy with that. Reece Hunter's a little tired because he's still playing for the youth team, but I'll bring him through. I have offered contracts to all youth players. I have no idea whether they'll when they'll accept them. So I don't know when they'll be ready for first team football. But to be honest, I don't think there's any of them who would slot into the first team right now anyway. Especially not with this kind of title running. Edge, pay attention. Not broken. Yeah, it's a weird question, that one, wasn't it? Playing him because he's the best player there and he's not in poor form. He's just not been doing as well as he did at the start of the season. That's the thing. There we go. White and green against black and green. I just had a quick rewatch of the Tifa Guns and Goalposts, or Goalposts and Gunshots, can't remember which way round it is. Video. Oh, come on, get rid of that, get rid of it. There we go. Bit of a scramble. Yeah, the Tifa, there's 2 videos on Northern Irish football they've done based on the book Gunshots and Goalposts, or Goalposts and Gunshots, again, whichever way around it is. It's actually quite a nice book for the history. It's not quite like Inverting the Pyramid, it's not really focused around tactics, it's more about the history and development of Northern Irish football in the context of the various troubles that there were across about 150 years, I think it goes through. But I did have a quick watch of that video again, 'cause it's quite a nice video. Oh, Devlin almost. And the first one's on Belfast Celtic, and I think the second one is on Derry City, who, if you're a kind of Irish football fan, will realise don't play in Northern Ireland, they play in the Irish League. And the video covers a little bit about that. So even-ish, although we're edging ahead on our various statistics and whatnot. We really need wins at this stage. Don't give him a card. Oh, come on, Warwick. Right. How do we fix this? So we've got Derek Byrne. Or we've got Barry Harvey. Can't bring Barry Harvey on for Devlin. Let's swap these 2 round. Then hopefully this link here between Cockcroft and Bonis will get some goals. The only thing I'm using to sort of pick between them is the fact that Bonis has more goals this season. Oh, Cockcroft, in it goes. Calmly taken free kick. Always a danger from them. Man down, but a goal up. Right, let's, after this, let's get Lettuce scores up. So an operator and Newry playing each other. Currently it's a draw, which works for us. It helps us up in the gap. It means we might be able to win it next match. Penalty? Yes. Harvey winning that one. Go on, Mitchell. There we go. Our penalty taking centre back. This is good. Happy with this. Right then. I don't think there's anything I really need to change. Like freshen things up a little bit later on. Being a player down does make it a little bit worrying, but we've actually played alright. I guess because... Oh, come on. And I have told them to get stuck in, so this is all my own fault if we lose because of being a man down, so I know we get more people sent off, but it's how we play. It's the Belfast Celtic way. But yeah, I think we managed to deal with this alright defensively and performance-wise. We've taken a striker off and still kept everything else. It just means fewer attacks. Newry are ahead. They also missed a penalty. Come on, Robinson. Due to the league table, so that puts Newry 3 points behind us. And not Breda 4 points if this holds. which means we could win it in the next match. Or we could, as good as win it in the next match as well. So even if the results go against us, we could still be in a position where the other team would need 3 points, we'd need to lose, and it'd be goal difference, I think. But we'll look at the kind of permutations at the start of the next video, I think. Cockcroft, nice and calmly done. Assist for Barry Harvey. He's not got many games really to make an impression with us. And again, by saying this, I might end up jinxing things, but we are going to need to think if we get promoted about what our strategy is going to be. Are we going to try and keep the faith with the players we've got? Are we going to make a few changes? Or are we going to try and do a kind of wholesale, massive gutting of the team? Oh, disallowed, that's alright. Because we don't have much money. We might do another friendly tournament to bring in a little bit of money, but we won't do lots of them, we'll just maybe do one. We still have the issue with our contracts. I imagine if we get promoted, maybe we'll be allowed to offer proper contracts. Go on, get that in. Bonis. There he is. 28th goal of the season. Long throw causing the problems. Target man flicks it on. Attacking midfielder doesn't quite get it, but it goes back to the target man. That's why you need a target man. Cockcroft is on a 9.4. He's doing well. Oh, tame by Burns, but in all fairness, he's a centre back. On the referee, blow the whistle, see where we are. Good for the soul there. So 4-0 win over rivals as we hunt down the title. Come on. Doesn't even matter if they score now, I guess. All good for the goal difference as well if we need it, but I think we've got a pretty decent one. Not a bad goal. And in fact, that goal, I'm going to spin that goal as a positive. It just means we don't have to pay as many clean sheet bonuses. So it's as many, any, for this. Right, the player sent off at the 26th minute and we still won 4-1. And it goes, okay, 5-1. Robinson at the far post. All in all, that was quite a nice move. Fullback coming in to do his job. Now they've got to blow the whistle. There we go. Could be an important win, couldn't it? Right, so Newry won. So we've guaranteed ourselves a playoff spot. So we can't finish below third as it stands. So we've got that to look forward to. There will be at least an episode to cover the playoffs if everything else goes wrong. And I think we'll come back for the next match, see where we are there. But it's ours to throw away. Definitely has to throw away. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.